Hello and welcome. I'm NJ Yosh, and today we are going to start a new campaign in Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord. I have played all of the games of the Mount and Blade series. I did very little with Fire and Sword, but I did play it some. And I have several hundred hours in Bannerlord, but they are all quite old at this point. A year and a half, 2 years ago, maybe, last time I played Bannerlord. So, probably going to be a little rusty, but we're going to start a new campaign. Bannerlord is a tactical action RPG set in medieval setting. If you're not familiar with the game, it's a very fun game. We're going to let this play.
For 500 years, the Calradian Empire dominated the continent. Its armies scattered foes before them. The strongholds of proud tribes crumbled beneath its engines of war. From the forests of the north to the wastes of the south, all was brought beneath the standard of their legions. Brutal as the conquest was, the wise agreed that it brought peace. The land, now untroubled by armies, grew rich. But empires, like men, grow old. Leaders lose a common cause. Corruption spreads. Old enemies learn the Empire's tricks and devise new ones of their own. Until one day, the bonds holding the Empire snap. Then comes the Civil War, pitting all against all. A time of hatred. A time of suffering. But also, even in the worst hours, a time of courage and defiance. As new leaders arise, from new places and new peoples, to turn back the tides of destruction and bring forth a new world from the ashes of the old.
Okay, so to start off, we can choose our culture. Each culture has a pro and a con, some pros and cons. As you can see, I'm not going to read the descriptions of all the cultures. You can pause and read them if you want. Valadians, more renown from battles, more income from serving as mercenaries, and production bonus to villages that are bound to castles, but recruiting lords to armies costs more influence. Sturgians, recruit and upgrade infantry troops are 25% cheaper. Armies lose 20% less daily cohesion, but relationship penalty from kingdom decisions is increased. Empire, less garrison troop wage. Being an army brings more than 25% more influence, but village hearths increase 20% less. Asari, caravans are cheaper to build and with less trade penalty and no speed penalty on desert, but daily wages in the party are increased. Khuzaits, recruiting and upgrading mounted troops are 10% cheaper, and there's production bonus to horse, mule, cow, and sheep in villages owned by Khuzait rulers, but less income from towns. And the Batanians, less speed penalty and greater sight in forest. Towns owned by Batanian rulers have +1 militia protection, but 10% slower build rate for town projects. I think I might go different. I don't think I've ever started as Sturgians. Or Sturgians. Yeah. Let's try something different. Randomize a bit till we find something we want to start off with. Yeah, it could be a good enough start. Gonna go a bit heavier, a little bit taller, and we have no hair, and we need a bigger beard. Yeah, there we go. Also, unfortunately, not red. Yep, we'll go with that. Good enough. All right. So choosing your skills comes from a set of companions. The flavor text of these varies by culture, but the results of them are pretty much the same. There might be some variation, because each one gives you a bonus to one of the attribute points, and then a focus point in two traits. This is, in this case, two-handed and riding. Urban traders is tactics and trading. Free farmers is polearms and running. Urban artisans is smithing and hammering. Hunters is scouting and bow. And vagabonds is throwing and rogue. So yeah, I think they are a little bit different between each one. We're going to go with hunters. As a child, you were noted for your leadership skills, tactics and leadership. Your brawn, two-handed and throwing. Your attention to detail, bow and running. Your aptitude for numbers is trading and engineering. Your way with people is leadership and charm. Or your skill with horses is horseback riding and medicine. I do want a point in horseback riding, but I think we're going to go with tactics and leadership for this one. Like all children, you also helped out in the field. You also herded the sheep, which is throwing and running. Smithy is smithing and two-handed. Repaired projects is smithing and engineering. Gathered herbs is scouting and medicine. Hunted small games is bow and tactics. Sold products at the market is charm and merchant. Go with hunting small game. Gives me a lot of bow skill to start. A decent bow skill to start. As a youngster growing up in Calradia, war was never far away. You trained with Hearth Guard, is polearms and horses, stood guard with the garrison, bow and engineering, rode with the scouts, bow and horse, trained with the infantry, one-handed and polearms. That's probably where I'm going. Joined the skirmishes, one-handed and throwing. Marched with campfire followers is throwing and rogue. We're going to go train with the infantry. Before you set out for a life of adventure, your biggest achievement was defeating an enemy in battle, one-handed and two-handed. Save village from flood is leadership and tactics. Invested money is trade and smithing. Hunted dangerous animal is crossbow and polearm. Famous escapade is running and rogue. Treated people well is charm and stewardship. I think we're going to go hunted dangerous animal. I do love that crossbow. Like many families in Calradia, your life was upended by war. Your home was ravaged by passage of army after army. Eventually, you sold your property and set off with your father, mother, brother, and two younger siblings to a new town you heard was safer, but you did not make it. Along the way, the inn in which you were staying was attacked by raiders. Your parents were slain, and your two youngest siblings seized. But you and your brother survived because you subdued a raider, running and one-handed, drove them off with arrows, bow, and tactics, rode off on a fast horse and scouting, tricked the raiders, tactics and rogue, or organized the travelers to break out is charm and leadership. We need that horse trait, so we're going to start with you rode off on a fast horse. My name is not Pious. My name is NJ Yosh. Thanks, Caps Lock, for making me look like I can't type, when in fact I can't type. I mean, I can. I'm just bad at it. All right. We're gonna just start off on Freebooter. We're not looking for real challenging gameplay here, especially since it's been so long since we played. We're gonna be very rusty. We're just looking to have fun.
Brother, it's been 3 days now we've been tracking those bastards. I think we're getting close. We need to think about what happens when we catch them. How are we going to rescue our brother and sister? Are we up for a fight? This looks like an old training field for the legions. Perhaps we can spare some time and brush up on our skills. The practice could come in handy when we catch up with the raiders.
I'm not going to skip the tutorial. I'm going to continue the tutorial, but I'm going to kind of speed through the combat tutorial. We're just going to do a little bit of each. This is as fast as you run, at least at this current skill in running. There is directional blocking. 4 directions. There's also directional attacking. Okay. There we go. Veteran trainer. So as you can see on the left there, it tells you the damage you're doing. Location of the hit matters, as does the relative speed. So if I hit him while I'm moving forward, I can do more damage. Than if I hit him while I'm moving away. Okay. That's enough combat training. Before we do anything else, we're low on food. There's a village to the north where we can buy provisions and find some help. You're a better rider than I am, so you lead the way. Okay. Navigating the world. Yep. Let's head for that village. We can put another focus point in. The way the focus points work is they... how many focus points depends on... will control where this green goes to. This green is the potential levels you can gain in that skill. So right now, if I were to not add any more focus points in riding, I can't get above this skill level. Focus points also increase the learning rate. So the more focus points you have in a skill, the faster you learn it. All right. Let's take a walk around. We gotta go talk to the headman. Outside of the tutorial, you can...
Here, I guess. So, we need food, and after that, maybe some men to come with us. The headman here can probably help us. Let's try to find him.
So outside of the tutorial, you can actually go straight to... Wait, hang on. Where is he? There he is. You can go straight to some of the important people. Oh god, we started right next to him. That's unusual. Alright. But in the tutorial, that's blocked.
I'm Orthos, head man of this village. What brings you here?
We need help. Some raiders have taken our younger brother and sister captive. We think they may have passed this way.
They got your people too? Sorry to hear that. Those bastards have done a bit of killing and looting in these parts as well. We think they've gone north. I reckon there are a few folk around here who'll join you in going after them if you'll pay for their gear. Once you've made your preparations, come and talk to me again. I may have a task for you if you're going after the raiders.
Alright, so now we leave the free roam, go back into the town menu. We need to recruit some troops to help us and buy some food. Now, the troops that we're going to be recruiting here are way stronger than we could recruit on our own at this point. I think there might be unique troops. There's no reason not to just recruit them all. And there's no reason to buy more than 2 food, because we're going to lose that at the end of the tutorial anyway. Alright, we've finished preparations. Let's talk to the headman again. So now we can see him here. Now we can just visit him directly. Again, outside the tutorial, we would be able to just talk to him directly.
Glad to see you found what you need. Now, about that matter I mentioned earlier, there's this wandering doctor who comes through it from time to time. Name of Tactius. Treats people for free. We're fond of him. Well, we last saw him a few days ago. He was carrying some sort of chest, which he was very mysterious about. He was on some sort of quest, he said, though wouldn't tell us more. He set off on the road just a few hours before the raiders came through it. Well, he's not really a worldly type, just the kind of fellow who'd stumble into a trap and let himself be captured. We're worried about him. If you can keep an eye out for him, this Tactius, we'd be very grateful. Maybe if he's alive and well, he'll tell you a little more about his quest.
Okay. Can do. Alright. So now we have to defeat some of these groups of raiders. And we're probably going to end up fighting them all at once. So we've got 18 men against our 8. But 7 of our 8 are experienced, very skilled troops. And they're led by me. Alright, so it tells you you have battle commands and it wants you to charge. However, I don't want to charge. Actually, you know what? We've got enough room to fight them on the... I just don't want to be charging in this river. But we can get over it before... and regain some speed before we fight them. Oop, that's a stone wall. So again, your speed, or in this case, my horse's speed, directly affects the damage you do. Oops. Missed him entirely. Let's get in there for some sword attacks. Gaining skill in riding by attacking on horseback, as well as the one-handed skill from the attacks themselves. bunch of them are injured now, so they're going to start going down faster. Ouch. Alright, alright, I'll pull off. Run my horse into the wall again. Oops. It's one reason I wanted to fight on the other side of the river. It's a little bit clearer. Fighting on the wrong side of my horse here. Yeah, I'm just not that good with that polearm. I'm about to get knocked unconscious. That'd be very embarrassing in this tutorial fight. Is that the last guy? Oh, there's some up there. There we go. Gained a few skills. Ooh, we also liberated some more troops and gained some prisoners. That doesn't matter. Let's get some better armor on. And just loot the rest of the stuff. You rescue several prisoners that the raiders have been dragging along. They look parched and exhausted. You give them a bit of water and bread, and after a short while, one staggers to his feet and comes over to you.
I don't know who you are, but I'm in your debt. These brigands would have marched us to our deaths. My name's Tactios. I'm a doctor by trade. I was on, well, a bit of a quest, but I'm now thinking I'm not really made for this kind of thing. I was with a caravan, and they just came out of the brush. We were surrounded and outnumbered, so we gave up. I figured they'd keep us alive, if just for the ransom. But then they started flogging us along at top speed, without any water, and I was just about ready to drop. I could feel the signs of heat stroke creeping up, and I told them they just flogged me more. If your group hadn't come along, maybe I have a way to thank you properly.
We're looking for 2 children captured by the raiders. Can you tell us anything?
I'm afraid I haven't seen any children. But after our caravan was attacked, the chief of the raiders, the one they call Radagos, took and rode off with our more valuable belongings, including a chest that I had. He seemed to be controlling more than one band around this area. If this lot has your kin, then I think he'd be the one to know. And since I have nothing of value left to repay your help, I'll tell you this. If you do catch up with and defeat that ruffian, you may be able to recover my chest. It contains a valuable ornament, which I was told could be of great value if you knew where to sell it. I was trying to find out more about it, but, as I say, I've had all my urge for travelling flogged out of me. Right now, I don't think I'd venture more than 20 paces from a well as long as I live. It doesn't look like much, and I suspect this lot will give it away for a few coins. But I got it from a mercenary whom I treated once, and he swore it was related to Neretz's folly. I don't know what that means, except that Neretes was of course the emperor who died in battle some years back. Maybe you could find out its true value. Thanks for saving me again. I hope our paths will cross again.
Okay. Now we have to head for the hideout. But we should also deal with our levels here. So, I probably do want to add a little bit to trade. Since we were just in battle, we moved a little slower because we were disorganized. Alright, let's attack the hideout. Alright, hideout missions begin with the enemy unaware of your approach. Order your troops to follow you with the F1 and F2 shortcuts to try to take them on in small groups. Let's do it. Nobody up there. Now, I could just let my troops charge ahead, and they would be able to clear this, but I'll try to get a little bit more experience. Actually, maybe do something about this polearm experience. Alright. Our health is too low. Everybody charge. We'll just follow along, let them clean it up. Alright, now the leader of the camp comes out. In this case, it is a named one because it's part of the story.
So, who's this that comes through my place of business, killing my employees?
We heard you took our little brother and sister. Where are they?
Good heaven. I'll need a better description than that. My men have harvested dozens of little brats in this region. Quite good hunting grounds. Already sent most of them off to a slave market, I know, though. Since your hunt for your kin is fruitless, how about you clear off and save your own lives? Either that, or I'll force you to lick up all the blood you've spilled here with your tongues. Or you and I could settle this one-on-one.
I don't deal with dual slavers. Men attack. Nice. Alright, that's a little irrelevant because we're going to be giving up the prisoners shortly. I think we actually have to give all this back too.
Well, I recognize defeat when I see it. If I'm gonna be your captive, let me introduce myself. I'm Radagos. You haven't cut my throat yet, which was a wise move. I'm sure I can find a way to be worth more to you alive than dead.
You better help us get our brother and sister back or you'll swing from a tree.
Ah, you'll need my help, all right. If you want to get them back. Alive, that is. See, my boys have some pretty specific instructions about what to do if there's a rescue attempt. Shall we get on the road? Remember, if I drop dead of exhaustion or drown in some river, That's it for your little dears. I don't expect a cozy palanquin now, but you best not make it too hard a trip for me.
Okay. You come across a chest with an old piece of bronze in it. It's battered and corroded that it's so battered and corroded that it could have been anything from a cup to a crown. This must be the chest Tactios mentioned to you. That had something to do with Neretiz's folly.
I was hoping to find more treasure here, but I think business wasn't going too well for Radagos and his gang. I found this strange-looking metal piece, though. It doesn't look too valuable, but it could be the artifact Tacteos was talking about. Maybe we can sell it to one of the noble clans for a hefty price. I have a better idea. We would have a better chance if we split up now. I'll take Radagos and go find the slaver market and look for a way to free the children. However, we must be careful not to endanger their lives, and it could be better to just buy them. We need to have our purses full for that, though. I'll need to take these men with us. Radagos is a slippery one. I don't want him getting away.
So you want me to raise money for the money to ransom the little ones?
Indeed. You
Boy,
have to find a way to do
I
that.
might be getting tired.
Maybe this bronze thing can help. Tacteo said it could be worth a fortune to the right person if you manage not to get killed. If he's telling the truth, you must be careful. Never reveal that you have it, but try to understand its value and how it can be sold. One more thing. When you are talking to nobles and other people of importance, make sure you present yourself as someone from a distant but distinguished family. You can use our family name if you like, or make up a new one. You will have a better chance of obtaining an audience with nobles, and it'll be easier for me to find you by asking around.
I can't pronounce that. So, in honor of the game that actually has really grown my channel lately.
Get on the road now. Once I locate the little ones, I'll come find you.
Alright, here we can customize our sigil. So we're going to do just that. There we go. Alright. Tutorial's over. We're now free to explore. So it is obvious that the last time I played was before Steam achievements. First thing we're going to do is head for this city. Alright, we can find companions here. Let's see if there's anybody. Fercread, Fairhair. Alright. Let's use N to go into the encyclopedia. That's not what I wanted. I wanted heroes. Wanderers. Fercread Fairhair, you are generous and daring, good one-handed skill, good throwing skill, good athletics. Not a bad first companion, really. Let's talk to him.
Well now, stranger, peace to you. What is your name?
My name is NJ Yosh. Please tell me about yourself. I'll tell you, you may wish to get yourself a drink. You may have heard of my father, Sininfil Fen... Yeah, I'm not going to be able to pronounce that. I'm sorry. Many call him Sin the Brave. It's my life's goal to be his worthy son, though he died when I was a baby. My stepfather, though rich in land and cows, does not have the same reputation. Although I resolved early in my life that my duty to my mother was necessitated, that I serve him as loyally as I would my natural father. Soon after I came of age, we got wind that our neighbors would raid us for cattle. We did not know by which road they would come. I was sent with a few of our tenants to hold a ford that was far out of the way. At first I was angered because I believed I was being kept away from battle and glory, but as it turned out, that's the way the enemy army came. When I saw them at the ford, I challenged their leaders to single combat, as was our way. They accepted and set forth a champion. To make a long story short, I slew him and then 2 more who came after him. The rest graciously admitted that my victories meant they were obliged to retreat. May all of us have such honorable foes. When I returned to my stepfather's hall, my mother met me outside in tears. She had given me up for dead. My stepfather knew the direction from which the enemy clan would come, and intended for me to die. She did nothing to stop him, but since I had survived, she bid me to flee, for if not, she feared it was inevitable that our clan should sink into the abyss of kinslaying. So I'm here looking for a worthy lord for whom to fight. You could say perhaps I'm between jobs right now, so if by any chance you're looking to hire, well, I'm open to discussion. I could use somebody like you in my company. There are some townspeople who have looked after me here. I made sure I was fed in that. I like to give them something before I go. Could I ask for 511 coin as an advance? I don't remember what they call the coin here. Right. Here you are. So that is more than half my money. Very well, I'll get my gear and join you outside. But... oh, the arena's closed. Wait till dawn. Okay. The best way I have found to earn money early game is in the arena. Now, tournaments, if you can win them, are great. I probably wouldn't be able to win a tournament in my current state, but there's other things. Greetings, friend. If you came for the games, the big fights, I'm afraid you're out of luck. There won't be any games, or tournament, as they say nowadays, anytime soon. I've heard of these games. As well you might. The grand old Imperial custom that's now spread all over Calradia. Back in the old days, they'd give 100 condemned criminals swords and have them slash at each other until the sands were drenched in blood. Nowadays, things are a little different, of course. The Emperor got worried about the people's morals and steered them towards a more virtuous kind of killing, like wars. But the games still go on, just with blunted weapons. During the games, all the best fighters from the area form teams and pummel each other. Not quite as much fun for the crowd as watching gladiators spill their guts out, of course, but healthier for the participants. You're a warrior, are you not? The games are a fine way to make your name. The local merchants put together a nice fat purse for the winner to attract the talent. When there's no tournament, it's still worth coming by. A lot of fighters spend their time here practicing to keep in trim, and we'll award the winners a few coins for their trouble. Also, here in the arena, we think a lot about the arts of war and many other related skills as well. Often you pick up certain habits while learning your skills. If you need to change those to practice one of your own skills in a certain way, we can help you. Tell me how the practice fights work. We leave the arena open to anyone who wants to practice. There are no rules, no teams. Everyone beats each other until only one fighter is left standing. Sounds like fun, eh? Alright. So, the practice fights can be a really great way to earn money. But the important thing to remember is don't try to earn the money by beating, the 3, 6, 10, or whatever it is participants. The money for surviving through the whole thing is way better. I am starting with a very bad weapon for this tournament. I think I'm going to lose this practice fight. Yep. Alright. But no harm. There's no loss there. Let's try again. That's better. That's what I want. Start with a bow. Let's get my bow out. Like I said, don't try to fight. Just try to survive until most of the other participants have knocked each other out. I mean, I'll get engaged in a archer duel. Wow, my skill is low enough that it is really hard to hit. I need to stop trying to go for headshots. The number of opponents will slowly tick down while they beat each other up. Just stay out of it. Because if you can beat 20 opponents, I think you get like 60 gold, maybe. But if you are the last one standing, even if you don't defeat anyone but the last person, you get 250. So it is kind of better to just let them attack each other. Any of those arrows land here for me to scrounge? I don't see any. Down to 16 opponents. There'll only ever really be like 4 others at a time, I believe. Miss. Yeah, see, I beat 3 opponents. I earned 3 gold for that. Sorry, 5 gold. 5 gold. Yo, I came really close. Didn't even see him throw this way. Alright. 3 opponents left. We'll start getting a bit closer. Pick up some more arrows. And now that's the last guy. And the fact that he didn't even have a shield made that very easy. Easy 250. See? And you can just keep grinding that, which I probably will do, but not just yet. I want to take a look at the store. And we also can talk to him. But we don't have much to say right now. Now we can look at his skills also. He is really good with one-handed. Also very good with throwing and athletics. Not great at riding. So that's something to keep in mind. He's probably going to remain a foot soldier. Just want to clear these quests so it stops having the exclamation point. Alright, trade. What are you currently equipped with? A sword and some very poor armor. Okay. Well, let's give him some javelins. Yeah, there's city equipment and war equipment. We're going to also give him a makeshift shield. For me, I kind of would like... Ranger bow I can't use mounted, no. I don't have the money for crossbow, which is unfortunate. Because I would really like a light crossbow, but I don't have the money for a bow either. Alright, that's unfortunate. What is your... You're a gang leader. You want a special weapons order. I don't think we're going to do that. Let's head to a nearby town. No quests here, unfortunately. Nobody really to recruit. A few here to recruit. I don't know that I'm necessarily in a position to recruit just yet. Really looking for a small quest. Or a small band of, like, looters or something. There's 5 here. You know what? Let's take them. Be a little bit more capable. Let's head to this town, actually. Gang leader needs weapons again. Okay. Once again, we're here at night. We need it to be day. Let's just jump right into practice. There's no tournament currently in town. Let's just jump straight into a practice fight. Ooh, spear. Really don't like my chances. They spear. No shield. I don't even think I can block thrusts without... Yeah. Unfortunately, you don't get a choice of weapon. Let's try again. Well, javelins and a mace, that will work. It's not ideal, but I can make that work. Okay. Pick up some extra javelins. And we're just going to stay here at this end. It may be a more boring way to do it, but it is way more reliable than trying to get mixed up in the melee. kind of want that bow. If I venture out this far, yep, a troop comes out from there. Ouch. Getting surrounded here. Ow. I only beat 3. Earned 5. Alright, we're going to try one more time. Ugh. Why? Why, spear? The pool of weapons that you may start with varies with depending on what culture the arena is in. I kind of think the Imperial options are the worst because they do like their spears. I'm pretty much going to have to wait until the last one and hope they don't have a shield. If they have a shield, I'm kind of screwed. Ouch. Dodged into it. Yeah, I'm not going to make it to the last one, I don't think. Ooh, okay. Hang on. Hang on. We may be able to make something out of this. I'm very low on health, unfortunately. See, now our spear isn't nearly as bad because we have a shield. Oh, I was blocking. Alright. We'll give up the fight. And we will actually call that here for this episode because it is just about 1 o'clock in the morning and I have work in 6 hours. So, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you've seen this game before, if you've played this game before, I'd love to hear from you. If not, we're hopefully going to explore it a little bit more together and show you a little bit more about what it's got. Because I do really enjoy this game. Thank you again for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and we will see you next time. Bye.